Ladies and gentlemen, welcome today to another edition of NASCAR Heat 5 on the channel. We got another full race live stream for you guys here tonight. It is the Las Vegas 300. It is the second race of the playoffs for the NASCAR Xfinity Series side in the round of 12. Hopefully you guys are having a fun, maybe festive Christmas Eve. We are not too much further away from Christmas Day, but before that, we are going to be racing here tonight, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this one. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We do these full race live streams with a realistic broadcast every single day. If you enjoy NASCAR, we have other related NASCAR content as well. More so throughout the course of the NASCAR season. It's a little bit of a slow period during the off-season right now. We do more streams than anything else currently, but things will pick up here in the next couple months. I can guarantee you that. Thanks for everybody tuning in here tonight. Joshua Ramsey, Darren Dill, welcome to the stream here early on, and welcome anybody else who does so join. We're about to qualify for tonight's 300-mile race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Xfinity Series, so let's hop on in. Dale Jr. coming off a DNF in the last race at Bristol, the opening race of the playoffs, so he's going to need a strong performance today because the Charlotte Roval is going to be next week on the channel for the Xfinity Series. So these guys are definitely not going to want to have to go in knowing they have to have a solid day to make it into the round of 8. There's a lot of pressure on this race here today. We're using the controller in this race as well. I'll start using the steering wheel again tomorrow for the Truck Series race later tomorrow night. I need to figure out a setup for where the camera is going to go for when I use the steering wheel, so that's the main reason we haven't been using it as of late, because again, I'm either using my phone or my laptop, and where it's at, it doesn't look like a great angle. So I'll have to kind of adjust that. If not, maybe we just don't have a camera for when I'm using the steering wheel. I don't know yet. One lap about to be in the books, though, for Dale Jr. here in qualifying. His car seems really, really tight in turns 3 and 4. Wow, he had to lift a ton there. He almost ended up in the wall. This is not going to be a good lap for Dale Jr. 31.829, that will be 22nd, and Dale Jr. will be starting mid-pack here today in Vegas. 30.360 is the pole time, and your pole sitter for tonight's race will be Brandon Jones. Austin Cindric will be starting outside pole in second. Ethan and Andrew Hollenbach, welcome to the stream. Got a couple drivers going to the rear. We'll take you through tonight's opening, I guess not ceremonies, but the opening of today's race. We'll take a look at some of the footnotes that we have before the green flag drops. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream as well. Racing Watkins Glen tonight. Nice. Jacob Westbrook, welcome to the stream as well. Noah Gregson will be starting at the rear of today's field. So is Harrison Burton. So two drivers that are in the playoffs having to start at the rear. The green flag is about to wave. Gregson coming in off a win at Bristol. So we know he is in the round of 8. Who will be the next 7 drivers to advance? Maybe one of them can clinch tonight with a win. Green flag is in the air. We're underway at Vegas. Car shaking for position there, side by side with Vinnie Miller and Daniel Henrik. Big run on the inside by Junior, nearly 4 wide down the back straightaway. She quickly tries to get to the bottom of the racetrack now to try and make some passes on the initial start. After starting in 20, a Junior gains 6 spots on lap 1. Jesse Little just got underneath him. He'll get around Justin Haley. Jeffrey Earnhardt still in line now behind Dale Jr. Jr. overran 3 and 4 really badly that time. Safe? Are you talking about the point standings, or we need a little more detail with that question there, Andrew? I have a roof over my head right now, so I guess I'm safe. Yes, Jeffrey Earnhardt is the nephew of Dale Earnhardt Jr. I believe he's the grandson of Dale Sr. I believe that's right, because he is he Kelly's? Is he Kelly's son or is he Kerry's son? I think he's Kelly's son. I think. I know he's Dale Jr.'s nephew, but I can't remember which one of the Earnhardts is his parents. Yeah, it's definitely pretty cold, that's for sure. I went into work this morning, it was 47 degrees at like 5:30 in the morning. And then I got out, we actually got out kind of like really early today. And 5 hours later, it was like 25 degrees. It literally dropped 22 degrees in the 5 hours I was at work. That's how big of a cold front we had coming through. No snow, it was just super windy. I don't know what the wind chill was, but I guarantee it was in the teens, if not lower. Usually I don't like complain about the cold or think the cold is cold, but it was cold today, so that tells you it was pretty cold. Kerry's son, okay. He does kind of look like him a little bit too, so I guess that makes sense. If you've ever seen a picture of Kerry Earnhardt. Austin Cindric currently leads this race. Justin Allgaier was able to lead the opening couple laps in this one as well. Dale Jr. has switched to the outside lane now. He's doing whatever he can on the top side of the racetrack. The way the stages are split up here tonight, 45 laps in stage 1, another 45 laps in stage 2. And the final stage of tonight's race is going to be 110. Setting up for a 200-lap, 300-mile race around a mile-and-a-half racetrack here at Vegas. A couple more mile-and-a-halves left on the Xfinity Series schedule. Both of them are going to be in the round of 8 at Kansas and then Texas. Right now, Dale Jr. is trying his best to charge through the field. He just seems to be really tight on the bottom of the racetrack. He runs on top, and the handling is definitely a lot better there. Six degrees, man. Yeah, it's definitely getting lower. I mean, it's that time of the year. Like, it could be 10 degrees, and if there's no wind, like, I could be outside and not feel cold at all. But if it's, like, 20 mile an hour plus winds like it was today, and it's anything below 40 at that point, it gets a little worse. That's where I can't feel my hands, and then things just don't feel comfortable at all. But if it's not windy, I couldn't care how cold it got. As far as the winter goes. He had to get on the brakes, almost got tight into turns 1 and 2, even on the outside that time. Now tries to slide underneath Riley Herbst. He was able to get a huge run down the back straightaway. Riley went to the inside in 1 and 2. And Junior's going to clear him off of turn 4. 4 position. Now works underneath Ray Black Jr., the 8th place car. Big run for Dale Jr. down the front stretch. 3 wide for position into turn 1 now under Jesse Little and Brandon Jones. Jones started on the pole tonight. Already outside the top 5. They're still 3 wide off of turn 2. Now the 8 and the 19 are side by side. Justin Allgaier trying to leave a little bit of room on the bottom as well. He goes all the way upstairs. Dale Jr. up to 5th. Yeah, I think our high tomorrow is like supposed to be right around 20. I think like just above 20 degrees. So I don't know what the temperature is going to be like in the morning. It's going to be a pretty cold Christmas. I think the last couple years, either last year or the year before, I can remember it was like 50 degrees randomly. And that was really random, especially for Northwest Ohio. Because I can remember we were shooting the basketball around outside. So it was definitely warm enough for that. Did not feel like Christmas that day. It almost felt like Easter, like the way the weather was. It felt like springtime. Chase Briscoe's now taking the race lead. Early going of the race here in stage 1. Austin Cindric trying to get right back at him, perhaps. Yeah, the wind woke me up like at 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it was whipping pretty badly. It was above 20-mile-an-hour winds, but I think the wind gusts were over 30. They had to have been over 30 by guesstimations. Because it felt windier. Sounded windier, too. Side by side for second place, meanwhile, Ross Chastain on the inside of the 22 car right now of Austin Cindric. And Chastain will take the position away. He's going to try to go for the lead. So Brandon Jones has led a lap. Justin Allgaier's led some laps. Then Austin Cindric led laps. And now Chase Briscoe's leading laps. So 4 different leaders on the first 15 laps of this race at Vegas. Tough to tell who's got the fastest car early on. And lap traffic will be coming fairly shortly. I think we're supposed to have like flurries overnight tonight, but nothing major as far as snow goes. Junior trying to work the inside. Again, the car's just too tight down there. The outside seemed to be working for him for the most part, though. The inside is more of the passing lane if he can try to clear someone. Junior up into the wall. In turns 1 and 2, his first time he's grazed it here today. Is it wise to get this game still? It's going to have glitches no matter what. I mean, we're 6 months down the road since this game's been released, and there's still glitches in the game. That's just going to be the game in general. It's just going to constantly have glitches. Caution's out for the first time today at lap number 18 with Chase Briscoe out in front. Take a look at the top 5, followed by Chastain, Cindric, Annette, and then Dale Jr. Got a couple drivers at the rear of the field hitting pit road. Everybody's still in the lead lap. Nobody's gone a lap down yet. We'll see if that will continue throughout the course of today's race. But our first caution, here we go. Southeast Georgia. You guys don't know what cold is. That's okay. You guys have other natural disasters to worry about. There's an upside and a downside of everywhere in the U.S. as far as like living year-round. Green flag back in the air. 25 laps to go in stage 1. A great launch on the restart for Dale Earnhardt Jr., and he's going to go from 5th to 1st with ease. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. out in front here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Yeah, that's pretty much what I meant by that, Joshua. I knew you guys had a hurricane season down there. Yeah, we got tornado season up here from April to... I mean, it's nothing like... It's not too major. It's enough to where we had to do, like, school, like, evacuations and stuff, like, every springtime, like, every couple weeks, because... Not evacuations, but still like safety drills, because it's possible when the weather starts warming up, and that's because the weather is so drastic. Like in Northwest Ohio, one day it could be 35 degrees, and the next day it could be like 75. No joke. When the cold front mixes with the warm front, creates heavy storms, and then from that point, it's how much humidity is in the air and a bunch of other meteorologist stuff I don't know too much about in depth. but pretty much that time of the year is about like mid-April to mid-June, usually. Oh man, Junior in the wall there in turns 3 and 4. Couldn't get off of it. Barely tapped it, and he just got stuck to it like glue. Ross Chastain, meanwhile, going to take over the second position away from Chase Briscoe. Briscoe trying to cross him back over in turns 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, our tornado season is nothing like Tornado Alley down there in like North Texas, southern Oklahoma, Kansas area, Missouri. Yeah, I've heard it can get pretty wicked down there. That's like a given that you guys are gonna get tornadoes in that area, like at least like once a year, if not more. Like, okay, we're gonna have a pretty severe tornado warning here. We've seen funnel clouds in my area before. I think the closest tornado we've ever had touched down and ripped apart like one of the high schools, like about 25, 30 minutes north of us. That was probably almost 10 years ago now. I remember it because I was still in school. Like just east of Toledo area. Right off the highway too. The school's like right on the side of one of the main highways. I think on 475, runs into Toledo. The tornado would have touched down, I guess, about 10-15 minutes outside of the city. It's weird to see, like, inner city tornado. Like, you know, like, that's just not normal, usually. Usually it's in, like, a not as populated rural area. Yeah, I mean, there were some homes that got taken out, unfortunately, with that one that took out the school. But the school was most prevalent because I think those kids had to go to school, like, somewhere else. Like, they had to combine 2 schools together, all their students one year. So they built another one. I'll tell you what, I played basketball. I think our first scrimmage was the first, like, basketball game on that court in the new high school. And, I mean, it looked like it was ridiculous. Like, for a high school. I've never seen a stadium that big. I mean, granted, like, our school was D4. And, so, like, to see something like that, it was, you know, in a smaller area, smaller school, high school. Crazy. Amazing how much money they were able to earn from, you know, foundations and stuff, that they were able to get a new school built. It looks pretty awesome. Chase Briscoe was able to get back second place a handful of laps ago, by the way. 15 laps to go still in stage 1. Junior took the lead on the restart after that first caution came on at lap 18. And right now, a lot of clean air in front of him. 4-second lead, a little bit older tires. At least from the last restart, the only drivers that took fresh tires were all the way at the back of the pack, so it's going to be no factor as far as the race for the lead went to the end of stage 1. I mean, as far as like video games go, the super speedways are really fun with the with NASCAR Heat 5. Did a really good job putting together the super speedways at this game. That's why you guys saw with the custom schedule we had. That's why we had like 3 of them. Puts on a good show video game wise. But as far as like real life goes, short tracks is the way to go for me. Now that lead is stretched out to about 6 seconds. Now Ross Chastain's still right behind Chase Briscoe for the moment. I mean, right behind him. They're battling pretty hard with one another yet. Not really going back and forth a whole lot, but Chastain's been a couple car lengths. But here's the interesting situation we didn't really monitor up until now. That right front tire for Dale Jr. is wearing out quite a bit. Under 20% tire wear remaining on it. We still got 11 laps to go in stage 1. This is not looking good for Dale Jr. right now. He's kept the car relatively clean this whole run too. It's a little bit of wear and tear on this racetrack. It's created a lot more bumps over the last couple of years compared to what we were used to for the longest time here at Las Vegas. Yeah, Bristol's my favorite track and will always forever be my favorite track. So this is going to be an interesting dilemma here. Remember, there is a tire rule that we have in the Xfinity series where we can't take more than 4 fresh sets of tires as well. And Junior desperately wants to make it to the end of the stage for that sake, and obviously he doesn't want to surrender any stage points. He DNF'd in the last race at Bristol. Most of that points cushion that he had is now gone after a bad finish at Bristol, so he needs a strong run all night long. If he has to sacrifice stage points, maybe even finish a lap down at stage 1, that is not going to be a great start to the night. I just don't see that right front tire making it all the way to the end of the stage. I mean, there's no way that he's going to be able to save that much either. Chastain back to second. Oh boy. Junior got loose off of turn 2. He hasn't even made contact with another driver yet today as well. Again, he's had a pretty clean run, but that right front is wearing it out. This opening fuel and tire stint in this race. He's going to try to go back to the outside and try his best not to work that right front tire. The problem is he's got to keep it off the wall if he does do that. Heavy lap traffic he's dealing with right now as well. Gets around 3 cars in turns 3 and 4 alone. So 5 laps to go in stage 1. Junior's now going to try his best to save as much as he can. It might be too little too late, coming to 4 laps to go in the stage. So 4 laps to go in stage 1. Junior has backed off the pace tremendously right now, and he is absolutely coasting it. Trying to make sure that right front tire is going to make it. At the time of him giving up ground, he had about a 12.5 second lead over Ross Chastain. He's willing to give up 12 seconds worth of it. That means hanging on to not only win the stage, but not blow that right front tire. So if it blows, there's likely going to be more than 5 seconds worth of damage as well. 3 to go now. Junior's just letting the lap cars go to the outside. Junior's really backed the pace down. Trying to take the shortest way around the track as well. Less bumps he's going to have to go through. Again, backing it off into turns 3 and 4. Some of these guys are going to be able to get back on the lead lap. That's going to obviously help them. 2% tire wear left. 2 laps to go this time by for Junior. Harmon really slow down the straightaway here. Junior again coasting it in turns 1 and 2. Man, it is going to be close if that right front tire is going to make it all the way to the end. And Ross Chastain has really closed that gap. He's about half a straightaway now behind Junior. Junior's still coasting it in turns 3 and 4. And we still got another mile and a half to go at the white flag this time behind stage 1. I mean, that's incredible. If he can go the final 4 laps on 3% tire wear, 1 more remaining. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go in the stage. Junior again coasted in turns 1 and 2. And that is a strong advantage with having a 12.5 second lead. He's able to use every bit of it. Now it's down to 1% off of turn 2. Is that right front going to make it 1 more corner? Junior backs off again. Couple lap cars in between him and Ross Chastain. Junior puts the power down off of turn 4, racing back to the start-finish line. Dale Jr. wins stage 1, and the right front tire makes it to the end of the stage as well. Unbelievable job by Dale Jr. there late in stage 1 to conserve that right front tire that was extremely worn. It was at 3% coming to the line with 4 laps to go in the stage, and he somehow made it the entirety of the last 4 laps. And not only backed it off to do it, he also got the playoff point, and he also got the stage points for winning the stage. That is a job well done right there. Cap 24, welcome to the stream. And that is where the veteran driver and Dale Jr. and the things he can do behind the wheel versus these other Xfinity Series regulars have come into play, and that's why he's been a championship favorite for most of the season. Indeed, right there. Free pass goes to Vinnie Miller as he just got around Mike Harmon at the last second to get the free pass. So pit stops for the first time today. That means 3 sets of tires left the rest of the way. Green flag back in the air. Stage number 2 underway, and it gets a little bit darker here at Vegas. It'll be completely dark by the end of stage 2. Great launch on the restart by Junior, getting through the gears. There's a lot on the line there early in stage 1 for Dale Jr., but he was able to do a perfect job in tire management to save the race car and save the stage win at the same time. Clean air out in front for Dale Jr. right now, but Chase Briscoe is running him back down. Harrison Burton right behind him in 3rd. And we know Harrison Burton's got a strong car because remember, he started at the rear, and so did Noah Gragson, and Gregson's up into the top 5 now as well. Burton to the outside of Briscoe for 2nd. He's got it easily. So the 9 and the 20 who started at the rear actually still got stage points in stage 1. And they are up towards the front here and in the mix battling for the lead. Early stage 2, what a quick turnaround. Burton's got a strong run on the outside in turns 3 and 4. Junior slides up off of turn 4. Oh my goodness. Barely, and I mean barely cleared Harrison Burton to hang on to the lead. Junior likes the top. He's a little too tight on the bottom, but he's trying to protect more than anything by running the bottom of the racetrack right now. Junior cut the corner a little too much, but he still hangs on to the lead in 3 and 4. We have another caution. Second caution of the race, first of stage 2. Oh, breath of fresh air now under the yellow flag laps for Junior as he'll continue to try and hold on to the lead. And now the free pass will go to Tommy Joe Martins at 26. Remember, he's one of the playoff drivers, won the season opener at Daytona this year. So that's pretty big. He was the only playoff driver that was a lap down up until that point. Now they're all back on the lead lap again. Remember, Gragson, again, won the last race at Bristol. So he is in the round of 8 already. And the next race, in the final race of the round of 12, will be at the Charlotte Roval. And again, that will be coming up next week for the Xfinity Series season. Everybody stays out of the pits there under that caution. Conserving track position and the amount of tires they have left. Green flag back in the air again. And Chase Briscoe did not get a good launch. Junior got a superb launch on the bottom, but Briscoe did not get a good launch on the outside. He spins the tires. Harrison Burton was able to even clear Briscoe himself before they got into 1 and 2. And now Gregson's going to clear Briscoe. Briscoe definitely didn't take off. He got passed by 3 cars that weren't Dale Jr. after Jr. took off on the restart. And Jr. had an outstanding restart himself again, but Briscoe, just an absolutely terrible restart, falls from 2nd to 5th, now 6th. Immediately as Michael Annette's even gotten around him. And that just stacked up everybody on the outside behind him. Well, here comes Burton again, but this time he's not side by side with anybody for the moment. This might give him a better chance to try and take the lead. Oh, he's got a massive run again through 3 and 4. Huge run. Junior couldn't quite clear him there. Junior down to the apron trying to make sure Burton doesn't side draft him, and Junior holds on to the lead, taking a little bit of a shortcut there. Look out. Here comes Anthony Alfredo up the middle. 3 wide for 2nd place as the 21 and the 9 almost banged into one another. Off of turn 4. Gregson takes away the spot from Alfredo. Now he's working on 2nd place. Harrison Burton still. Burton, meanwhile, gets a great run off the exit of 2 to the inside of Junior for the lead. Junior trying to side draft him on the right rear. And he's going to have to let him go. Harrison Burton takes his first lead of the night. Junior hangs on for 2nd. Side by side for 3rd between Gregson and Briscoe. Junior's not done fighting yet with Burton, though. Briscoe able to take away the spot from Gregson. Gregson really fell back there. Annette gets around him for 4th. Chastain gets around him for 5th. Big loss of positions there. Fastest lap ever for Dale Jr. that last time by. Fastest lap ever for me, I should say. The NASCAR Heat 5 in the Xfinity Series. So Jr. is really doing everything he can to keep with Harrison Burton. But now trying to pass the car at the clean air back again is going to be even tougher. Look at Junior really lose a little bit of grip on the bottom of the track. Burton really pinched him down there. Junior's not done fighting yet. Trying to stay in the draft down the straightaways as much as he can. But again, these Xfinity cars don't draft as well as the Cup cars. Michael Annette going for 3rd place underneath Briscoe. I think he's got it. Chastain got around Alfredo as well for 4th. Sorry, 5th rather. Junior got really tight in 1 and 2. Drifts way up the racetrack and he had to lift. If he didn't, he was going to end up in the wall there. And Michael Annette now maybe looking to make a move on Dale Jr. into turns 3 and 4. Jr. just able to block him off in time, but Jr. again gets tight on the bottom. And Annette is underneath them now for second. 27 to go in stage number 2. Junior now on the outside trying to ride it in up there. It's going to give him a run down the back. We'll see if Annette can side draft him and try to hold him back just enough to maybe get another run into 3 and 4 and make a pass there. He's going to try it. He's not going to get it. Still side by side for second for about a full lap now. Nice clean battle between the two Junior Motorsports Chevrolets. Junior down low to block into 1 and 2 on Annette as he had a huge run down the front stretch. There is somebody out of the race. It's hard to tell exactly who that is. I don't know if it's Tommy Joe Martins or not. It almost looks like it might be Joe Graff Jr. in the 08. It looks like a lighter white car of some sort. I guess it depends on what paint scheme he's got. Tommy Joe Martins has a chrome looking paint scheme, and it doesn't look chrome to me. It's really hard to tell from on the racetrack going at 185 plus miles an hour down the front stretch, trying to tell who the car is. At the next caution or the stage break, we'll try to get to the bottom of it, especially with Tommy Joe Martins being a playoff driver. If it is him that's out of the race, yes, so it is big championship implications. He's going to have to win at the Roval at this point if he has a bad day. That is by no means any easy task, especially for that lower funded team. 23 to go, stage 2. Halfway through the second stage. Junior again on the outside trying to get a run on Harrison Burton. And he's getting these runs down the straightaway. Look at the amount of ground Junior gains down the backstretch. Excuse me. Harrison Burton tries to hang on to the lead. Still another big run down the front stretch for Junior. Looking high. Oh, Burton almost blocked him, but not quite. That allowed Junior to get to the right rear corner panel, and Junior barely keeps it off the wall through 1 and 2. He had to lift a little bit extra, though, and that allows Burton to hold on to the lead still. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. And a Merry Christmas Eve to you, too, as well as everybody else tuning in here tonight. Good battle for the lead on hands here midway through stage 2. Junior wants the outside again on the right rear corner panel of Burton down the front stretch, trying to side draft him, and they go into 1. See if Junior's going to be able to clear him this time. Off of turn 2, Burton's hanging in there. Not over yet. Now Junior tries to pull a block down the backstretch. Stays high into 3 and 4. Burton trying to charge on the bottom. He doesn't have enough. Junior back out in front off of turn 4 here in Vegas. 20 laps to go, stage 2. And again, 2 cautions total already tonight for incident. 1 in each stage up to this point. Still have a final stage yet to go after these next 20 laps conclude. Again, Truck Series action will be tomorrow night on the channel here at Las Vegas. It'll be the first race of the round of 8 there. Just 4 races left to go on the Truck Series on NASCAR Heat 5, so that'll be a lot of fun. Start time for that one, we're going to be looking at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A Christmas Day special. See if we can get Matt Kraft in a spot in the championship 4. Oh man, Fincham almost pulled in front of Junior off of turn 4. Junior stayed in the gas. Fincham just ducked low at the last second. Giving Dale Jr. just enough room, who was on the outside. I don't think Fincham knew he was coming in that hot. That could have been bad. Tire wear is wearing out again, though, for Dale Jr. He's already at 30% wear left on the right front. Remember, he had to barely nurse home the right front tire at the end of stage 1. We had 1 caution in each stage. Though 3 less green flag laps to run in this stage. And that's simply due to the lone fact of the stage break caution laps as well. We obviously didn't have that in stage 1. So it should be a little bit easier to make it to the end of stage 2, but he still might have to nurse it the last couple laps, so Junior's going to try to build out as big of a lead as he can again. So he only finished about 1.5 seconds ahead of Chastain. He gave up about 11 seconds of his lead. Right in the last 4 laps. Solid start to the night, much like Bristol. And that's the one major thing that has helped him. And there's Tommy Joe Martins in the 44, so he's going to go a lap down again. So he is still in the race. I believe it's Joe Graff Jr. who's out of the race tonight. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time. And the race starting at the start-finish line right here. Little hiccup in the center of the corner there. You really hear Junior roll out of the throttle just a little bit more than normal. Yeah, we will take a look at the next caution or stage break again, whatever comes first. As far as who that one lone driver is that's out. That right front tire is really starting to wear out again. Junior's been running the outside a lot more in stage 2 as well to try and help conserve the right front. He's ran even cleaner in this stage than what he did in the last stage. He ran really clean in stage 1. Running about as perfect of a night as he can, as he again desperately wants to make sure he can win tonight and not have to worry about the Charlotte Roval coming up next week. Oh man! Junior thought Brandon Brown was going to move to the inside. He stayed right in the middle, and Junior about ran right in the back of him. In the middle of the front stretch. That would have not look good at all, that's for sure. A couple of near misses there with Junior piling into the back, if not the right rear of a lap car, all in this very run. And Junior doesn't have nearly as big of a lead as what he did in stage 1 as well. It took him a lot longer to get out in front compared to what we saw back in stage 1. He's only got about a 4.5, 5 second lead. Again, he had about a 12.5 second lead over Chastain when he started having to nurse the right front stage 1. So he doesn't have as much ground for Burton to try and gain. Oh boy. A closer call there. Not as close as the last 2 moments, the lap cars, but still a little close for comfort. Oh, Junior in the wall! Off of turn 4, that's going to cost him a lot of time. And we stay green. Huge mistake off of turn 4. Look at how much that wore the right front tire out also. It just knocked it down 2% with that hit off the wall. That doesn't help the right front. Damage-wise, it obviously doesn't help it. And instead of a 5-second lead, it's down to about 3 seconds. That was not a very good situation there for Junior. Still 7 to go in stage 2. So he's going to have to try and nurse that right front tire once again, but he's going to have a lot less ground to try and hold on Harrison Burton to try and sweep the stages here tonight at Vegas. 15 people watching. Thanks for everybody tuning in here tonight. Hit that like button. Most importantly, hit the subscribe button for more daily NASCAR content. And again, we're doing these full race live streams, or we have been doing these full race live streams with a realistic broadcast every day. So maybe get some of your NASCAR fix, perhaps, racing-wise, here on the channel during the course of the off-season. 4-second lead now for Junior. There is not much wear left on that right front. And he's going to have to start backing it off really soon once again. I don't think he can wait as long as he did last time, and he's backing it off right now. So Junior is going to start backing his corners up tremendously to try and save that right front tire for the second straight stage. But he's having to back it up even earlier this time. That hit off the wall a handful of laps ago didn't help. And he doesn't have nearly as big of a lead. He's got about 8.5 seconds less of a lead than what he did in stage 1. EMNJ, welcome to the stream. Tim Lambert, welcome to the stream. Merry early Christmas to all of you. Indeed. And Harrison Burton is not that far behind Dale Jr. He is coming. There's still one lap car in between the two. I believe it's David Starr. Now Starr moves out of the way in the center of the quarter. And he lets Harrison Burton go. 4 laps to go in stage 2. So just like last stage, Junior has to go the final 4 laps on 3%. He did it once, but he's got to try and do it again. And Burton is coming. Harrison Burton is charging hard. Less than a second behind off of turn 4 this time. Still 3 more laps. Just think he'd have about 2% more left if he didn't hit that wall. That'd be enough for him to probably push it a little bit harder for a couple laps. And here's Burton now 1 and 2. To the inside of Dale Jr. for the lead now down the back straightaway. Jr. beats him into turn 3. Now trying to block as he rolls way out of the gas again. So he is going to try to block desperately on Harrison Burton, as well as trying to save as much of that right front tire, if not all of it. 2 more laps. He's pulling him down the straightaway a little bit, but obviously he's giving up a lot in the corners. And here comes Burton to the outside. Burton is there. Only 1% left with a lap and a half still to go. And Junior's going to have to sacrifice the lead, as Harrison Burton will lead to the white flag now here in stage number 2. 1 more lap to go. This is going to be a lot closer than the last stage, and the last stage was close on that right front, making it. Caution is out. Caution is out, and that will end stage 2. Harrison Burton will win the stage. Capturing a playoff point there. If he can advance to the next round, that will carry over. And most importantly, for Dale Jr.'s sake, that caution might have just saved his race. Because I don't know if that right front was going to make it another lap. I mean, we barely made it once, and it looked like it was burning out way more that run for whatever reason, even running 3 less laps under green. But 4 fresh tires will be coming, a full tank of fuel once again. And Harrison Burton, your stage 2 winner. After starting at the rear nonetheless, Dale Jr. and his crew will win the race off pit road. So he'll get the restart from the lead with Burton restarting in second. Green flag will be back in the air. One more stage to go. I just realized I forgot to check to see who that driver was that was out of the race. Sorry for that. I can pretty much confirm it is not a playoff driver, though, at least. I'm pretty sure all 12 of them are still on the racetrack. Gregson up to third. Jeremy Clements into the top 5 out of nowhere. Up to fourth. Haven't really heard or seen of him all night. And it is Jeff Burton, or sorry, not NASCAR Thunder 04, Harrison Burton battling for the lead right now with Dale Jr. Gregson's got to run on the outside. Burton better be careful. And Burton puts the bumper to Jr. He moves him out of the way. Oh, close call. Gregson puts his teammate in the wall. They were 3 wide off of turn 4. They're still about to crash. Oh, and around goes Annette back in front of the pack. And a pile of cars go to the infield grass. As Michael Annette goes around, Ray Black Jr. was involved. It was a mess off of turn 4 where Jr. got pinched into the wall by Gregson and Clements. They were 3 wide for second, and there just wasn't enough room for it at that point in time. Michael Annette ended up getting stacked up and all that. He tried to save it, clipped the grass down on the apron, and that was pretty much it from there. Add that to the compilation next week. Big crash down the front stretch here in Vegas, and that is stage 3 in the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen that time and time again with all 3 series in this game with these full race live streams. Calm for the first stage, first 2 stages. It might be hard racing, but as far as accidents go, pretty calm. And then we get to the final stage, it just gets hectic. Green flag back in the air. What a launch by Junior. We're almost halfway home. I think Ryan Seed got caught up in that accident too. There were at least 4 or 5 cars that went spinning back there after Annette came back in front of the, or I should say in the middle of the pack of traffic there, and they were all clustered together because it was right off a restart. They were just getting up to speed for the first time through the front stretch after they went green, and now it's Harrison Burton going for the lead. It all started, remember Junior drifted up so high because Harrison Burton moved him out of the way. And I'm sure Junior wasn't pleased about that, but Junior's got a little bit too much damage on the right side of the car, and now Harrison Burton has taken the lead away again, but that time it was a clean pass. Burton trying to run the outside. It's the preferred line right now. It's interesting that he's giving Junior the bottom, though, with knowing that's the passing lane, but Junior just not able to get anywhere close to alongside of him to try and make a move for the lead. In fact, Gregson is back on the outside as well as Chase Briscoe, and they're gaining ground on Dale Jr. because of it. Junior up to block the 9. Oh my goodness, what a move. Oh my goodness, he about put his teammate in the wall there down the front stretch. Really trying to back him up as much as he could. That really backed him up. 98 had to get out of the gas as well. Now Briscoe going for third on Gregson to his inside. They almost made contact off of turn 4. Aggressive side drafting going on there. 99 to go here in Vegas. And Ross Chastain is coming out of nowhere. He got around Gregson in 1 and 2. He's going to the outside to try and take away third now from Briscoe, and I think he's got it. Oh, they're still side by side. I guess the battle's not over yet. Burton's still trying to run the outside as well. Junior's not gaining any ground on the bottom, but I think it's more so to try and protect and hang on to second as long as he can more than anything else. Ryan Berwick, welcome to the stream. Wow, the 10 and the 98 almost touched again off turn 4. Looks like Chastain's got the edge. He should be able to clear him for sure this time off of turn 2, and he does. And boy, Ross Chastain got a big run in the center of the corner. I think he's going for Junior for position now. But Junior hangs on. Trying to, at least. Junior's starting to get a little tight up the track again. And Chastain closes even more. Burton on the outside, but so is Dale Jr. Trying something different here. Chastain going to get to his inside, but Junior should get the run down the front stretch. Chastain trying to hang on that left rear corner panel. Junior with the block in the tri-oval. Look at the amount of speed Junior is able to carry off the outside there in 3 and 4. The outside does work at this racetrack if you've got the right setup for it. I don't think enough people know that about this game. It was like that in Heat 4 too, though. Kansas isn't the only mile and a half in this game where he can actually work the outside. A little contact that time between Chastain and Junior. Off turn 4, they keep it going straight. It's going to allow Burton to do whatever he can to hold on out in front. Things could get very interesting, though. They're still side by side for second. Unbelievable battle between the 10 and the 8. I think Chastain might have him this time. And he does. All clear. Crossover by Junior. Oh, man. Huge run, though, off the outside by Dale Jr. And he's going to go. Get back to the lead again. A huge block into turn 1. And now Ross Chastain's going to try to cross him back over. And he's got it. What a move. Junior might try it again, though, into turn 3. Trying to trap the 10 to the inside. Slide job. Another crossover by Ross Chastain. It's allowing Briscoe to try and close the gap now. Junior continues to block Chastain and hang on. What a battle for second place. So they try to reel in Harrison Burton. Finally, a sane president. Welcome to the stream. That's awesome. Merry Christmas to you too. Chastain not going down without a fight. It looked like Junior had him fended off there. He was in front for a couple laps after taking it back, and Chastain just got a huge run off turn 4. Took the air off the left rear of Junior's car. And he's trying to hang in there. And he's got him. He clears him again off turn 2. Big run by Junior down the back. Oh, Chastain tries to block now. Low contact getting into turn 3. That just shot the 10 car out there. I don't think Junior was expecting him to go high. And he stays high again in 1 and 2, and Junior has to tap the brakes in line behind him. Try not to run him over. Junior still trying to get to that left rear corner panel. Now he makes a slide job maneuver into turns 3 and 4. Chastain again with a crossover to the bottom. And this is what Harrison Burton wants to see, because that's not allowing these guys to close in on him. Oh, Junior almost clipped the 10 car. And Chastain again trying to side draft him. And now Junior sucks the air off the right rear of the 10. Look at him coming down the track trying to pinch him off the exit of turn 2. Battle for second place for the ages going on right now. They're still side by side off of turn 4. This is unbelievable. Lap traffic coming up here in a couple laps. These guys better get it sorted out or it might get nasty here. What a battle. Chastain couldn't clear him that time. Big run by Junior off of turn 2. Into 3 and 4. Ross Chastain hanging in there. Still Junior with a block. Hangs on to second. Big run now on Harrison Burton. Pulls in line behind him. Burton goes high. Junior right behind him. Chastain trying to get a big run on the bottom. Burton kind of pulled Junior off of turn 2 just a little bit. Junior trying to go just a tad bit higher than what Burton is. Now he does go a little bit higher through 3 and 4. This should give Junior the run this time. Carries it to the apron. Now it's a battle for the lead. And Junior will take it away from Harrison Burton. Big run, he ran just a tad bit higher, and that was the difference maker there, but Burton fights back. And Burton's not going down without a fight now as he gets to the left rear of the 8 of Junior. Lap traffic coming up next lap. Junior leads a tight battle within the top 3 going on pretty much this entire stage. Still 85 laps to go. There are only 2 sets of tires left the rest of the way as well, and Junior over halfway through this run. What car assist mode do I use? Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell. I don't really use any driving aids. The only time I use any sort of aids itself is on the road courses. I use a little bit of stability because the cars just slide too much on these games, on the NASCAR heat games at the road course. Well, now we got a 3-car battle for the lead. Once again, Junior almost got in the wall. Oh, they're 3 wide nearly. Actually side by side for the lead. Burton trying to trap Dale Jr. in between Jeff Green and Matt Mills, sliding up the track 4 wide in the center of 3 and 4 as Junior barely holds on to the lead. The way Burton and Junior split the lap traffic to go 4 wide was insane there in 3 and 4. Burton's still hanging around. Alfredo's up to 3rd out of nowhere. And Ross Chastain all of a sudden is 3 seconds back and forth as he really got held up behind Mills and Jeff Green, the lap cars. Yeah, until you get used to it, I mean, it's obviously alright to drive with assist. I just couldn't tell you which way to go exactly to start off. Because it's kind of strange. I've noticed, at least with the other NASCAR heat games, the AI difficulty, if it's not at max, it feels really, really, really easy. Even at 100, to me, it's super easy. If you can hold a straight line, especially on the ovals, a consistent line, I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't win every race, especially the custom setup. Junior's finally starting to get away from Burton. It's about a 1.5 second lead now between the top 2. Oh yeah, for sure. It definitely takes a little bit of getting used to, especially if you're not too familiar with NASCAR games or even just newer NASCAR games. Well, for NASCAR Thunder 04, for instance, our first season we had limited assists on because I didn't trust myself with that game. I hadn't played that game in over 10 years. I remembered it being really hard, and I'm glad I did because we still didn't win the championship. If we wouldn't have had assists on, we probably We probably would have DNF'd out of even more races than what we already did, which cost us a championship to begin with. Yeah, the controller could be some of the problem too. If you're used to a different console, you're used to playing on Xbox and you're playing on PS4, I'm sure that could be a huge difference. I'm sure I've played on mainly PlayStations my whole life, so if I played on an Xbox One or something like that right now, I guarantee I'd probably suck right out of the gate until I got used to it, just because I'm sure the controller does feel weird, especially when you get used to one. Or if you're used to using a steering wheel all the time and not a controller, that could play into effect also. There is no saving like Junior's had to do the last 2 runs. He is trying to pull away as much as he can. And when he has to pit, he's going to pit. It'll be very close on whether or not it's going to be a 1 or 2 stop stage. For Junior, it's likely going to be 2 stops. For everybody else, though, it's going to be really close on whether it's going to be 1 or 2. Yes, I will be doing other throwback NASCAR games on the channel. Once we wrap up the NASCAR Thunder 04 final season, which we just started with the Daytona 500 a couple nights ago. Once we wrap that season up, probably middle of February, if I had to guess, late February, because we're almost done with NASCAR Heat 5 as far as like the playthrough goes on the channel. So we'll get more NASCAR Thunder 04 streams coming up here in about a month or so. Again, whenever we can get done with the Heat 5 season. We're in the playoffs for all 3 series, so you know we're getting close. I think we're looking to wrap it up like right around like I think the weekend before the Rolex 24 is what we're looking at wrapping up Heat 5. Exactly. Once we do that, I mean, it's going to be Thunder 04 literally every day until that season's done. Then we'll move on to Chase for the Cup 2005 will be the next game. We're going to consistently work our way up from that point on every season we do. So kind of a throwback series in general of itself. So it'll be a lot of fun. Oh boy. Oh, that's pretty cool. I've seen some older Indy 500 that I think, is it 1982 or 1984? That was a heck of a race. That was like one of the first Indy 500s where, I mean, it came down to like the final couple laps. They were trading the lead back and forth, and like you can hear the crowd input, top of the announcers, and having it like that old and seeing something like that, it just looked awesome. I can't remember what, it was either 82 or 84, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head exactly what year it was. I couldn't tell you who won it. It's been a while since I've watched it. I just remember seeing that, though. If I watched more IndyCar, I probably would have known who would have won it off the top of my head without even having to watch it or something like that. Kind of like I would with NASCAR. Caution flag is out once again. It is always amazing. It's why it is the greatest spectacle in racing. So caution's out for the 3rd time today. First time in the final stage, 72 laps to go. Pit stops will be coming once again here as Dale Jr. is going to make his way to pit road, as well as everybody else in the field. Free pass going to go to Josh Bilicki in 19th. And the lone car out of the race, I called it there. Joe Gareth Jr. is the only driver that is out for the day. So here we go. Dale Jr. will lead the field to the green. Harrison Burton in second. Green flag back in the air. 68 laps to go here tonight. We have seen tremendous racing throughout the course of this one, and I'm sure that's going to continue now from this restart going forward. Junior not going to waste any time, and he's just going to go straight to the outside. Anthony Alfredo with one heck of a restart. Very fast pit stop as well. He actually restarted in third. Followed Junior when Junior got a great launch once again on the inside lane. And Alfredo was able to quickly get to second place. And Harrison Burton, who restarted second, is all the way in sixth. Burton goes up the middle, 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Down between Ross Chastain, I believe Jeremy Clements back there. They're still 3 wide off of turn 2. Side by side, meanwhile, for second between Alfredo and Gregson. Now Ross Chastain's trying to get that middle lane working. As Junior continues to hold on to the lead. Oh, they almost touch off of turn 4. Gregson and Alfredo almost got into one another. Gregson to the lead off of turn 4. Can he win the first 2 races of the round? It's going to be the first lap he's led all night. Now he tries to pull a block on Dale Jr. Jr. looks to the middle. Now it's Clements on the bottom. Here comes Briscoe. What a move. Didn't think there was enough room down there to go 3 wide, but he tried it anyway. Massive run now. Into turns 1 and 2. They are 3 wide for the lead. Now 3 wide back there for about 4th. Briscoe goes from 5th to 1st in a lap and a half as he clears Gregson off of turn 2. Gregson really drifted his way into 3. He looked really loose, and that's going to allow the 10 car to get around him. Burton goes up the middle again. Almost gets sandwiched between the 21 and the 51. Meanwhile, Dale Jr.'s got to run on the inside lane underneath Gregson as he tries to fight back to 3rd place. And Chastain now going for the lead on Chase Briscoe. And Briscoe trying to block. Clements, meanwhile, up to 4th. Well, he hasn't quite cleared Gregson. Yeah, Gregson's trying to hold in on the outside. Fastest lap of the race that last time by for Junior. Side by side for the lead. Ross Chastain and Chase Briscoe. Off of turn 2, Burton back to 4th place and all over the back of Junior for 3rd. The race is on here tonight. It has been a fun one throughout, and we are getting closer and closer to the finish. I think we're setting up for maybe a classic in the year 2020 on the channel as the year comes to an end here very shortly. Junior to the inside of Briscoe, trying to side draft him. Here comes Burton, 3 wide. Junior got loose, made a little contact. Junior again, a little loose on corner exit. He was really pushing tight in the center. 61 to go, and here comes Harrison Burton for the lead. He was in 4th a lap and a half ago. He's to the inside of the leader, Chastain. Junior to the inside of the 98 of Briscoe for 3rd. Oh, Burton didn't quite clear him. He saw the rear of the car really start to slide out. Briscoe trying to block Dale Jr. Burton tries to block the 10 car, barely clears him off of turn 4. Top 4 under a blanket here in Vegas. Top 3 slowly pulling away from Dale Jr. Chastain trying to run the middle to the upper lane. Looks like Burton's getting a little tight in the center of the corner. Meanwhile, Briscoe closes even closer to the back bumper of the 10. And now here comes Michael Annett closing in on Dale Jr. all of a sudden. He's in 5th. Jr. back to the outside. Trying to switch his lane up once more. Been running there most of the night. Side by side for 2nd still between Briscoe. Briscoe on the bottom. Chastain on the top. And Burton maybe a car length and a half to 2 car lengths ahead. Oh, wow, Junior almost got in the wall off before. Another closer call. Chastain did not get the power down well off of turn 4. Look at how much ground Junior was able to gain there. Chastain back to the bottom. Chase Briscoe, Harrison Burton running the top. Michael Annett also to the bottom, back in fifth as he closes the ground. Now the top 5 are all within about a second to a second and a half of the lead. Junior to the outside of Ross Chastain for third. As it's Harrison Burton, Chase Briscoe still out in front, side by side for third. We saw a great battle for second between the 10 and the 8. Before the last caution, what's going to happen over this fuel run now? Junior gets tight, he's in the wall. Lost a lot of ground there, and Chastain's able to fend him off for now. I think Michael Annett is going to try to get underneath the 8. He does. Can't side draft him enough to stay with him down the backstretch, though. Chastain now to block the 8 of Junior. He saw the run he had. Briscoe to the bottom of the track. You can see him washing up the track. Almost a little too early there. Big run by Junior. Boy, he got off of turn 4 well. As he gets shot out of a cannon and clears the 10 of Chastain. Had to tap the brakes going into turn 1. He was carrying so much speed. He's kind of got to work the throttle quite a bit. Look at the huge run he's got now on Briscoe. Burton to the bottom of the track. Junior kind of runs the middle lane there through 3 and 4, maybe trying to pinch the 98 down. And now the 98 tries to pinch him on the straightaway and hang with him. R6, welcome to the stream. Harrison Burton. Much like the 10 and the 8 were battling for second earlier, now it's the 98 and the 8 trying to battle hard for second with Burton out in front. Just like earlier when the 10 and the 8 were battling, it was Burton out in front. They're trying to set the car a little bit better there in 1 and 2. That might allow Briscoe to clear him. Crossover. Junior. Slide job into 3 and 4. Washes up the track. Briscoe now trying to double cross him back over to the inside. Meanwhile, Annett was able to get around Chastain that last lap for 4th. The battle continues for 2nd. R6, this has been an incredible race up to this point. A little bit of everything. A lot of clean, hard racing. We had one big accident at the beginning of stage 3. A lot of the front runners were able to survive it at least. Michael Annett was involved heavily in it, and he's back up to 4th, so great comeback for him. Junior finally clears Briscoe for 2nd. 51 to go. Can he catch Burton? Still one more pit stop coming the rest of the day for everybody. Nobody can make it on fuel. They're looking to be about 12 to 15 laps short. We were kind of caught in it. It started right around us, but no significant damage. Oh, Junior just shoved way up the track. He really overran 1 and 2. And Briscoe's going to get right back around him. Cuts Briscoe a little bit of slack there and didn't run into the back of him. Burton slowly pulling back away again. Briscoe slides, gives Junior just enough room to stay in there. He's going to get trapped behind these lap cars. Burton's losing a lot of time behind him. Junior again trying to get a run on Burton. 48 laps to go here at Vegas. Burton on the inside, Junior on the outside. Junior's in the wall on 1 and 2. He pushed it just a little too hard. Pushing tight again, and he brushes the wall little by little. That's all it takes. Junior's car is just getting tighter. I think every time he hits the wall, he's just adding a little bit more damage to the race car, and it's just not helping the turn in the center of the corner. Imagine if he was on the bottom of the track, it'd be even worse because he's been tight down there as it is. Lap car in the way, Junior goes to the apron. Through the trial to miss him. Look at how much time he gained on Burton with that run off of the exit of turns 1 and 2. Look at how much higher Junior runs in 1 and 2 compared to Burton as well. Just a tad bit higher. Oh man, that was a tight squeeze. Oh my goodness. Junior barely keeps it off the lap car of Landon Castle. Burton holds on to the lead. He would escape by easily to the bottom. Wrong place at the wrong time situation there. That A car is really starting to push tight with the damage. It's not heavy, but you can definitely tell the car's getting a little bit on the tight side because of it. Yeah, and that's what NASCAR has been, you know, it's been built as the oval, you know, originated as the oval endurance racing, essentially. That's why the races are as long as they are, and that's why there was a lot of 500-mile races, but the only reason those races have shortened is because people's attention span with, you know, the internet and technology in general has shortened. So they're like, oh, we should probably shorten the races a little bit. And that's why you see a large push for 300, 400-mile races. But that, I mean, NASCAR is built as you need to withstand 500 miles at this mile and a half, lap after lap, corner after corner. You have to stay consistent for the full 2.5 to 3.5 hours, depending on how long the race takes exactly. And that's what makes NASCAR unique from other motorsports. On top of the fact that with it being on an oval, they're a lot closer compacted together, especially on restarts, inches apart from one another at 180 plus miles an hour. Even with the current intermediate package they have now, they're still getting upwards of 190 miles an hour on, you know, turn 1 entry on most of these intermediates. Where before, yeah, it was 200, but the mid-corner speeds have increased too, so that's why the lap times haven't really gone down a whole lot. They've gone down a little bit because of the package, but not that much. So Junior was finally able to get by Burton after a long battle for the lead once again. Junior back out in front with 41 laps to go here in Vegas. And again, one more pit stop still to go here tonight. When will it come for these drivers? That right front tire's wearing out on Dale Jr.'s number 8 Chevrolet as well. Later and later into the run. Top has been the fastest way around the track for the most part for us. Not only we're a little too tight on the bottom of the track, but the outside works pretty well here in Vegas. We've seen that all night. And we've been able to get huge runs when they're on the bottom and we're on the top. Get the run off the banking down the straightaways. You're giving up time in the corner because it's the longest way around the track. But again, the run off the exit of the corner because of the transition from the banking to the flat portion of the racetrack. That's why the outside works on a track like this, especially with this much wear on it and as bumpy as this track is. Not nearly as bumpy as, say, Fontana or Atlanta especially, but it's got to be one of the third or fourth most bumpiest tracks on the circuit. Yeah, it was a pretty good battle. A buddy of mine was at my house. He's a Joey Logano fan. I got him into watching NASCAR. I think 2018, I took him to Michigan for the spring race. And from that point on, he's basically been following the sport. See, that's the way to get new fans in the sport. You get a fan that knows a lot about the sport like me, or just, in general, anybody at that point. You take someone to the racetrack, and they'll never forget that day. Because it's unlike any other experience. Especially at that time at Michigan, too, because the cars were going like 220 miles an hour into turn one. So that was a completely different era than what you're seeing now with the intermediate package at Michigan or any other track. They were hauling that day. Especially because the temperatures were colder, so there was a lot of grip on the racetrack. They were going even faster than what they usually would. But he was, anyway, with him being a Logano fan, he was definitely on the edge of his seat. "35 laps to go, this time by 8% tire wear left on the right front of Dale Jr. He's only got one set of tires left the rest of this race. So his next stop will be his last. It'll be a 4-tire stop. Be able to make it on one more set the rest of the race. A lot of that is him saving those tires back in stage 1 and stage 2 to put him in this situation late. Yes, he sacrificed the stage win in stage 2, finished second. Burton won the stage. He did win stage 1. Still a lot of stage points throughout the course of the day, though. And obviously leading right now. This is paying off huge dividends. He's going to try to go as long as he can, because the last thing you want is to be the first driver to hit pit road, especially as the leader. So if we get a caution, he's going to be trapped a lap down. He's going to have to take the wave around and restart at the back of the pack and on older tires on this bumpy of a racetrack. It is not going to be a good combination there for Junior. .33 to go in this stage. That just his father being in the sport. Because Bill Elliott, back in the 80s and early 90s, pretty much most of Bill Elliott's career, he was the fan favorite. He was the Dale Jr. before Dale Jr. as far as like fan popularity went. Oh no! There goes the right front on Jr. He's in the wall in turns 1 and 2. It gave out. I thought he could go another couple laps yet, and he could not. Problems for Junior, blowing a right front tire all of a sudden. Heavy damage to the right front of the race car. He's in the wall. Huge playoff implications in the final 30 laps of the race. Burton is going to be coming. Junior will be on pit road this time, trying to get down there. He's got a car to his inside. It's so hard to turn the car to the left. And around he goes. No, he saves it. On 3 tires, he saves it. We stay green. He cannot repair the damage under our 5-second damage clock. Heavy smoke rolling out of the race car now. What a tough break. That was a massive save. That could have ended his day. He would have wrecked off of turn number 4 trying to get to pit road with that flat. right front. As soon as he went from the banking of the racetrack to the flat with a flat right front nonetheless, I mean, the car just wanted to turn straight left. Can't repair the damage. That is some pretty significant damage. It might not look like much. That is really going to affect the handling of this 8 car for the finish of this race. And now he needs it to play green to the end as well. I thought for sure we were going around there. That's why I called that we were spinning, because I didn't think I was going to save that. Underestimated my own abilities. So he's a lap down, but he was the first driver to hit pit road, so he's got the freshest tires, but he's also probably got the most damage of any car on the racetrack right now. Most of the damage is underneath the car with the suspension issues. That's why you're not seeing a lot of cosmetic damage on the outside of the race car. But there is going to be a lot of extra pressure on that right front tire the rest of this race. This is going to be a fight to the finish at this point. How much time did he lose? He nearly lost the lead coming to pit road as well. That lead was basically all gone. He's having to use so much brake in the corners now, where he was barely using any, if any at all, earlier in the race. So his pace is completely slowed down. I seriously thought the right front tire was going to make it another lap or two. I think it blew out with about 3% left. We haven't seen that all day. He has been close to blowing a right front a couple times, but that time he actually did it. And the door is wide open now for Harrison Burton to try and get the win. And if oh boy, if Harrison Burton can get the win tonight and advance himself into the round of 8 before the Charlotte Roval next week, that's going to be huge. But what a downgrade that is going to be for Dale Jr. After a DNF at Bristol, needs a strong run tonight, maybe a win, so he doesn't have to even worry about points next week at the Roval, and that is not the case. Plus, he can pull off a miracle in the damaged race car. So just waiting for everything to cycle through at this point. I'll tell you what, though, whenever Harrison Burton decides to pit, he's going to have fresher tires and a lot cleaner race car. He is going to be hauling, trying to catch Dale Jr., who should have an advantage on him with the fresh tires. He's not gaining that much more ground. He's not that much faster than Burton right now, despite the fact he's got about 45 lap fresher tires. Last one green was 68 to go. .24 laps left at the line. Calm before the storm right now, just waiting for every one of these green flag stops to cycle through. Extend into 3 and 4 to get around Chastain. And he's in the wall. I mean, that car just is not wanting to turn, especially when he's trying to make passes on the inside. Chastain holding up Dale Jr. a little bit. Never know, that could be a battle for position at the end of the race. Not sure how far back Jr. might fall. Waiting for Burton to come down onto pit road at this point. Maybe he'll try some tire strategy as well. Maybe he'll take 2 tires instead of 4. Who knows? Only 21 laps to go for those guys. Leader's coming to pit road. Briscoe's coming this time. That's why he ducked down to the inside of the racetrack. Briscoe's sitting in 2nd place currently. And the race leader, Harrison Burton, also coming to the pits. Sinet will stay out, so he'll take the race lead and lead, I believe, his first lap of the night. It's going to be a disadvantage for him pitting a lap later. So where is this going to cycle out? Junior fighting hard. He wants to get around Harrison Burton and at least try to control his own destiny by having the lead. Boy, if you guys weren't on the edge of your seats so far, I don't know how you can't be for these final 20 laps. Annette on the pit road now. There's Burton. Junior should cycle through as the leader. But, I mean, it's not by much. Junior's got about a 5.5 second lead on Harrison Burton. Burton's got about 10 lap fresher tires. And Junior's got a ton of damage to the right front. Lap traffic will be a factor, I'd have to imagine, as well. Six and a half second lead by the time Burton got up to speed. He will cycle in as the 2nd place driver. Boy, Chase Briscoe had a slow stop. He went in maybe a couple seconds behind Burton. And right now, coming out of the pits, he's about 7 to 7.5 seconds behind him with 18 laps to go. And he's about 13.5 seconds off the race lead. Take a look at the lap times Junior is running right now compared to his fastest lap of the day, which was his fastest lap ever. My fastest lap ever here on Heat 5 for the Xfinity Series at Las Vegas. A 31.107 is the fastest lap of the day, but a 32.202 was that last lap for Dale Jr. That is how much slower he is running right now. About a full second, a little over a second slower than his original pace. That is quite a bit. And with this many laps left, I mean, it's going to have to take a strong amount of lap traffic for Burton to not close that gap and win this race. The best thing for Junior is that this plays green, and he can salvage maybe a top 5 still. Should be able to. He's got 15 seconds back to the 5th place car, Michael Annette, as far as the points go. But if we get a caution, I mean, he's going to get freight trained on the restart. He can't pit again. No more sets of tires. He'll be a sitting duck on the restart. He's going to lose a chance of maybe even a top 10. There's 11 cars on the lead lap, and you saw Burton just Brandon Jones just blow by him in the 11th place position. I believe Herbst is in 12th. He's about to blow past Junior as well. Junior doesn't need to be racing side by side with these lap cars right now either. Or run directly behind him to push the car even tighter with the dirty air. Burton is coming. He's got about 4 or 5 lap cars in between him and Junior. That's a pretty big difference there. And now we have a caution. The one thing that Dale Jr. didn't want nor needed. And we have a caution with 15 laps to go here in Vegas. Unbelievable. Ray Black Jr. will get the free pass in 13th. We're going to have 11 laps to go when we go green. And that is our 4th caution of the night. And things just got a whole heck of a lot more interesting. Junior's going to be on older tires and a damaged race car right in front of the field. And he'll try to hold on for dear life. The one thing he did not need was a caution for the rest of this race, and he got it unwillingly. How about Jesse Little? Got into the playoffs on a huge win at Darlington late in the regular season. He was nowhere close to the top 12 in points. He's in the top 20 though, so he qualified with that win. He's running top 10 right now. He's in 10th place on the restart. With 11 to go. Green flag back in the air here at Vegas. Who will win this race? Can Junior pull off a miracle? He's got the track position, but he's got the older tires and damage. And how about that restart for Briscoe going from third to second? Junior trying the bottom, trying to protect, and his car is way too tight down there. Michael Annett up to second place now as he clears Briscoe off in turn 4. Clements, a non-playoff driver, to third. 10 laps to go at Vegas. 10 laps to go here at Las Vegas. Junior trying to hold on desperately. Middle of the pack is Harrison Burton. Big run on the outside by Jeremy Clements. Blocked off by Junior for the moment. Oh, and he gets moved by his teammate. Michael Annett moves Junior out of the way. 3 wide back through the pack. Michael Annett has taken the lead with 9 to go. Burton trying the inside line to get back to second underneath the 10 of Ross Chastain. And Junior's just going straight backwards. 3 wide. Now he gets moved out of the way again physically by the 51 of Clements. It's not like somebody made contact somewhere. I'm not sure where. Brandon Jones is going to get around Junior to the inside. Junior's all the way back to 10th. Meanwhile, we have a lead change at the front of the field. Harrison Burton takes the lead off in turn 2, or at least trying to. He's side by side still with Michael Annett. Wesley Robbins, welcome to the stream. Junior trying to hang on to a top 10 finish at least. With 7 laps to go. He might have to go back to the outside and just do something different. Car's just way too tight. And Junior just continues to lose spots. JT Records, welcome to the stream. Junior tries to move to the outside. You can see the straightaway speed just a little bit more at least to the back of Ryan Sieg. Maybe we get another caution, who knows. Burton still trying to hang on. Michael Annett still in second place, and Ross Chastain in third. To the inside now of Annett for second place with, 5 laps to go here at Vegas. Junior just trying to hang on to a top 10 at this point. He's got Riley Herbst, Jesse Little not too far behind him. No lap cars in between him and Herbst as well. Starting to lose my voice here at the end of the race. Sorry for that. Burton still out in front. Chastain does move to second. 4 to go. Now does Chastain have a shot to get around? Both those drivers in the playoffs. A win advances them into the round of 8. We're going to get a caution now. Well, caution's out. From bad to worse for Junior. Heavy damage to the right front. That's the 5th caution of the day. Completely forgot the battery was low. Somebody reminded me in the chat earlier, and I forgot to change it. We almost made it. We came to 4 to go, and the battery blew out. Well, things have just gotten from bad to worse for Dale Earnhardt Jr. We're going to have overtime, another caution, and he can't repair the damage, and that just added even more because that was a pretty hard hit to the outside wall there into 1 and 2. And that's going to bunch the field up at the front again. Burton didn't have the race won because he did have the 10 car breathing right down his neck, maybe a car length and a half behind him, but it is a new ball game for everybody now for an overtime shootout here in Vegas. What a rough final 30 laps for Dale Jr. Green flag will wave, plus he's got the outside lane on the restart. You can only lose one more spot. 2 more, actually, with the free pass going to the last car in the lead lap. Green flag back in the air here at Vegas. Who is going to get the win? Oh, little contact! The 4 and the 8 car there mid-pack got together. Harrison Burton leads as they're going to be coming to the white flag off of turn 4. Junior back to 13th. It is a mad scramble to try and decide who will make it to the round of 8. All playoff drivers fill out the top 5 right now. Annette all over the back bumper of Burton. Single file down the back. Again, Annette looks low down the back straightaway. Will he make a move into 3 and 4? He's trying to get to the left rear. Burton throws the block. Burton slides up. Burton gets tied off in turn 4. And that's going to get to the inside. It's a drag race back to the line. Burton with another block, and Harrison Burton will win at Las Vegas, and he will get his 3rd win of the season, and that one will advance him into the round of 8. Harrison Burton with a close victory here in overtime. And Burton hangs on with a wild overtime restart. Had the lead with 4 to go. Caution came out. He had to fight for his life there on Michael Annett, who had a great jump on the restart from 3rd to 2nd. Was all over the back of the 20. Tried his best, and he just couldn't do it. A big win for Burton, as mentioned, his 3rd of the season. He also got a stage win tonight, so 6 more playoff points as he'll enter the round of 8. And he will not have to worry about the Roval. Another finish outside the top 10 for Junior in the first 2 races of the playoffs. And that is going to put him in a wild spot going into a wild card race at the Charlotte Roval next week on the channel. We'll take you through the finishing results here. Burton with the win, as mentioned, a stage winner in this race as well. Michael Annett finishes 2nd. He really put on a fight. Noah Gragson gets back-to-back top 3 finishes. And win, he's already in the round of 8 as well after winning the first race of the playoffs at Bristol and finished 3rd here tonight. Ross Chastain 4th. Anthony Alfredo rounds out the top 5. Chase Briscoe 6th. Austin Cindric 7th, followed by Jeremy Clement 8th. Jesse Little, one of the underdogs coming into the playoffs. So Jesse Little, an underdog coming into the playoffs, finishes 9th here tonight. And he's got a shot to even point his way in after the Roval. If he can have a good run there, maybe have help on his side, that is going to be huge. You see the damage on the right side of Junior's car there late as it was just pancaked. And Ray Black Jr. nonetheless rounds out the top 10. Junior brings it home 12th. 14 drivers finished on the lead lap here today. 1 hour and 43 minutes total time on tonight's race. The only drivers that DNF'd, or I should say the only driver that DNF'd, was Joe Graff Jr. way back in the early going of stage number 2. And my bad, we had 6 cautions for incident tonight. I forgot the one that ended stage 2. We had a caution on the last lap that brought the stage to an end prematurely. There's the big accident you saw earlier in the race at the beginning of stage 3. Oh, yeah, wow, Jesse Little, what a great comeback he had. I didn't realize he was caught up in that. He backed it into the wall. Looked like he had it saved there for a moment. He comes back with a ninth place finish and a great comeback for Annette as well, coming back to finish second after that mess. And he was one of the main drivers involved in it. Again, doing the points myself, so these points are not accurate that you see on your screen right now, but I can clarify that Noah Gregson and Harrison Burton will be in the round of 8. We have 6 more drivers still to go through into the next round, and I will be doing the points here after the conclusion of this stream, so that way everything will be up and ready to go before the race next week at the Charlotte Roval. We'll be your way tomorrow on the channel. More NASCAR Heat 5 action. It'll be Truck Series racing at Las Vegas for the first race of the round of 8 in the playoffs on that side of things. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general, and I will see you guys next time on the road to 1,000 subs there. So definitely we are keeping the grind on there. Again, the goal is to, well, the goal has been to hopefully get there by our 1-year anniversary mark, which is going to be the middle of February. So we'll see if we can do it. But thanks for everybody tuning in. Again, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.